Coming to you live today. Coming to can you hear me? Can you hear me? For the first time I forgot to check my microphone, but in any case, here we are coming to you live from the Flagami studio, simulcasting to Facebook, the Facebook page, to the Living the RV Dream YouTube channel, and X, formerly Twitter. So we are simulcasting to all these places. And thank you everybody for coming here and hanging out with us for the recording of the podcast, which I'm gonna be beginning right now because. And today, if you guys have any questions, anything you guys want to talk about, that's what it's gonna be today. Because since I'm not traveling, I'm really spending most of my time trying to finish the videos that I still have in the can, so we can start making new adventures, which I'm really looking forward to that. So this traveler is here with the earphones on and Rub on the road. Greetings and Rafael Jacapin, hello there. And the RV DJ, our mighty bartender. I might have a stiff one after the live stream, actually. And Trailer Traveling is here. Um, so yeah, this is gonna be like an I think they call them Ask Me Anythings. Let me shut down my Adobe Premiere here just in case. I have too many things open in this computer. And I have an email, which is not important right now. Oh, it's an email from YouTube telling me that I'm live. um, Karen Remler Presley from Facebook is here too. There you go. Facebook, uh, the YouTube channel, the Living the Every Dream YouTube channel, and X. And here we go. I'm gonna start recording. Did I save this? Episode 311, and tomorrow is February 9th. Here we go. This is Living the RV Dream, episode 311 for Friday, February 9th, 2024. Hello, happy campers. Hello, Pelican heads and happy travelers around the world. Full timers, part timers, boondockers, van dwellers, weekend warriors, schoolie builders, tent campers, overlanders. Um, thank you. Thank you for being here on the podcast. And today, coming to you for a live audience, we are simulcasting live, actually, a day before you're going to listen to this on the podcast on audio only. And we are on Facebook, on YouTube, and X. So here we go. Um, Ask me anything. Today is going to be an quick Q&A episode, because to be honest, I mean, I could tell you about the video that I'm editing right now, but to be honest, we haven't really traveled anywhere in a long time, too long a time. But hopefully, in about 2 weeks, we're going driving to the west, into the sunset, driving to the west. So here we have on the chat, Karen Rimmeler Presley asks, when you're coming back to New York? Miss you last time, and most likely this late summer, fall. I do want to visit New York, not only New York City, but upstate New York, certain parts that we didn't visit when we went there 2 years ago, which we really did, like the western part of New York, but not the true upstate New York, like by the St. Lawrence River, with the 1,000 islands and all that. So that's kind of on the list. So there you go. Rick Coolies asks, why don't we see more of your wife in your videos? She doesn't like to be on camera as much as I do, and that's it. Being on camera is not for everybody, and she prefers to be a more private person. So and Danny Maggie Hancock, hey Roberto from the Texas Panhandle. um Yeah, we're going to Texas soon, and I can't wait. Not only for the eclipse, there are certain other things that I want to do, particularly Big Bend National Park. That has been on the proverbial bucket list for a very very long time, and I think I'm finally going to be able to do it. I was able to secure a reservation as a Jesus campground. The sites are tight. I don't even know if I'm going to fit in the site that I reserved, but you know I have faith. Um, Trailer traveling, Gord, coming to us from Ottawa, just because I know. What challenges did you face during the transition from a traditional job to a full time travel content creator, and how did you overcome them? Well, time management is certainly one of them, and believe it or not, I thought I was going to have so much more time now that I could dedicate 100% of my time to content creation, to doing this. And I even, I'm gonna do a Spanish channel and a cooking channel and just a channel for road trips, and I'm gonna have translate every video to at least the other one language that I know, Spanish. And it became soon it became evident that I wasn't gonna be able to do that, and I decided to just make longer, better videos on the main channel, and if I can dedicate some time to something else, I will. But and at the beginning, to be honest, it was money. I wasn't making enough. I had faith that this was going to grow to the point that I was gonna it was gonna be self sustainable. But by mid to late 2017 to most of 2018, we were in the red. I dipped into the savings, 401ks and whatnot, and it wasn't until sometime in 2019 that we really we became financially viable, to be able to travel and do this at the same time. So that was the two main challenges, but the time management and working part wasn't that bad. I mean, I was already spending time until late. I got back home from work, and if I had video to edit, I just got to it after dinner. So yeah. Scenic Route Arts, Kimberly Liston. Hi, Robert. How long does your GoPro last before charging the batteries? The battery lasts on the GoPro 11 with the extended batteries. I forget what they're called. They have the top is white instead of blue. Um, and those will last a little over an hour. I say an hour 15 on a good day, and it depends. I record at 30 frames per second. I imagine if I do 60 frames per second, it would last a little less. Which, by the way, I might start doing some videos at 60 frames per second, and I'll see if you guys uh, uh, like it. It's gonna be more realistic, a little less cinematic, perhaps. I don't know. We'll see. Um, Hillary Nolan, have you gotten your next big trip planned out yet? Hillary Nolan, coming to us from Facebook, and yes, pretty much. I did share it on the newsletter. Which, by the way, if you guys want me to receive occasional emails from me, go to travelingrobert.com and scroll down to where you can subscribe to the mailing list. I won't spam you, I promise. The most I do is one email a month, updating you on our future plans, future videos, and all that. And then I'll ask you to buy my t-shirts, and that's the only thing, the only spammy part of the emails. But and they did post a link there to my travel plan, and I also on one of the Friday live streams. um and I forgot where I was going with this. Oh, there's a map. There's a link with a map on Road Trippers that right now I can't post it right here in this chat. But basically, the idea, we're gonna stop by Pelicamp, and then we're making a beeline for Texas, for Big Bend National Park. if we have the time, I would love to spend at least one day or several hours in New Orleans. I do love that town, and we haven't been there in a while. And then from there we're gonna do like the loop, Arizona first. We have to cross New Mexico, and since we're crossing New Mexico, I've always wanted to see the VLA, the Very Large Array, where all the radio telescopes are there looking towards the firmament. We might do a little bit of like northern New Mexico, maybe Santa Fe. All this is weather permitting, of course. And then I'm going to visit the three places where I'm considering buying property in Arizona, which is Sholo, the Sholo area, the north of Williams by Grand Canyon Junction, that area. And then west of Kingman, there's some, relatively inexpensive properties to be had. So that's kind of the plan for that. And then we're going up to Utah and see the few things in Utah that we haven't seen before. Like I want to go to Bryce Canyon National Park, but I've been there many years ago. It was a very quick video that we did on that 2014 trip before we had our own RV. So we're overdue to return, and I want to do that trail, the Navajo Trail, which hopefully it's open by then. Right now it is closed due to winter. And then I have a deal with Sun Outdoors, and we're gonna do some content in Moab, and then for the solar eclipse in Austin, Texas. So that's kind of in a nutshell. We're gonna do some other things in between, probably southern Colorado a little bit there too, but that's kind of the idea. Lewis and Clark Travels asks, who inspired you to do YouTube? Well, many people, actually, some of the people that inspired me first to do content online before YouTube was even a thing. We're talking early 2000s. Were podcasters. There were podcasters who did video podcasts. In fact, my first show online was a video podcast. The same way you can upload an MP3 and do an audio podcast, you could, especially when the iPod with video came out, the iPod with the color screen that kind of did video, you could do a video podcast, and you could just upload an MP4 file, a video file. Back then wasn't HD or anything like that. But I want to say Leo Laporte of this Week in Tech. Maybe some people that you don't even know, like Kevin Rose. He did a show called Dignation. There were several shows, Rocket Boom, a lot of tech shows that started to do that. And then once YouTube came, YouTube at the beginning wasn't really about this type of content. It was mostly, short videos of like a dog on a skateboard, that kind of thing, or things like that. It was like it was more like TikTok than YouTube, but a widescreen. And of course, the out of the YouTubers, once we started doing the RV thing, was some of the first that we ever watched, and I already had the YouTube channel there. Someone that really inspired me, and that's who I've guided my style after. It's Rick Steves. Rick Steves, he has travel shows on PBS, and he does mostly Europe, but it's that documentary style where he gives you background information and history and all that, and then he goes eat somewhere. That was another inspiration. And then all the early YouTubers who came before me, like Chris Travels, that later was Chris and G Travels. He was like the one of the original. He, I think, predates everybody. He predates Nomadic Fanatic, and some of the early ones, of course, Loloho, Long Honeymoon, and many others. I mean, too many to mention the ones that came before me that I drew inspiration from, and I was like, someday, I'm gonna travel full time in my RV and post videos on YouTube. So Ronald Bradley says, come to Higgins Lake, Michigan. I have a place for you, for your trailer or a room. That's great. Maybe if we do the Great Lakes this summer, we'll keep that in mind for sure. Any plans, Josh Nathans, any plans on stopping by San Antonio? Got some pretty cool places you could stop by. Definitely San Antonio we're going to do right after Austin, right after the solar eclipse. and that's probably the last place we're gonna visit before heading back to Florida. And yeah, I've been to San Antonio before, and I really like the town. I haven't done everything. We've done the missions, we've done the river walk, and in that downtown historic area. But there's so many breweries and places and different things that we could see, and not to mention great barbecue. So definitely going back to San Antonio. Grace Morrow asks on Facebook, John and Grace from Pennsylvania, big fans. How did you come up with the idea to do this type of show? Well, I always wanted to do some kind of show. I mean, the idea of doing video and editing it into a concise story that I wanted to tell was has been one of the things that I've wanted to do most of my life, to be honest. And then the RV thing. I'm a Cuban immigrant, and RV was never on the horizon. It was never a thing. It's not even. I didn't even know what an RV was until I was a grown man, and then my brother-in-law rented one to visit family in Georgia, and I saw it, and I'm like, let's rent one, see if we like it. And it's one of those things that you become obsessed, right? Then we went to the Palm Beach RV show. Then the following year, we went to the Florida RV Super Show in Tampa, and eventually, we got I had one of those you only live once moments, and we went to the dealership just to see this RV that kind of fit in my driveway, and I could kind of tow with my tow vehicle, with the car that I had, and the rest is history. And I don't regret it one bit at this point. Joanne Kimbrough on Facebook, if you ain't never been Station, Tennessee, in Granger County, you should travel there sometime. We'll check it out. Being Station, Tennessee. We're gonna make a note of that. And from Karen Rimler Presley, we're actually looking at a Mini for upgrade because of you and Ely. We'll have to get a new traveling rubber sticker. LOL. Yeah, and I'm on like the fourth generation of those stickers. The original is still stuck to my original trailer, and then you have the Colorado with the Minitini 1, then you have Colorado with Minitini 2, then you have there's one with Minitini 3 somewhere, I think. I don't think I ever made one with Minitini 3, and then there's Starship with Minitini 4. So yep. From Marjorie Hewitt on Facebook, Chris and I spent the day hiking the Florida's largest national park, Apalachicola. Apalachicola, that's a lovely town on the Panhandle there on the Forgotten Coast. Chris Durham, what are you using for a drone? Right now, I have a DJI Mavic Zoom, Mavic Pro. Let me go back. I have a DJI Mavic Pro 2 Zoom, which is a little older. It's like 3 years old. I like having the zoom so I can fly, fly really high at 400 feet, the maximum that I could do. So I don't bother, people as much with the noise of the drone and whatnot. And it can be kind of, stealth up there. And then I can zoom in on things on the ground. That's what I like. If I were to buy a drone right now, I would probably buy the Mini 3, but at some point I'm going to justify upgrading the drone. Maybe it'll crash. I hope it doesn't crash. Never mind. Hernan Mendoza on Facebook. Hi, Uncle. What's your native language? You always seem Italian or Latino for me, for the way you speak. Great videos, by the way. My native language is Spanish. I was born in the island of Cuba. And yeah, that's the short answer there. We have this Traveler, the original Pelican head. High frame rate is true, more realistic, but short recording time means frequent SD card changing if he's using on top of his rig. I don't know how much it's going to impact. A 512 gigabyte card will last me 8 hours. I know it's not going to be half because of compression, So if it goes down to like 5 or 6 hours, I can live with that. So I do kind the look of 60 frames per second. The only camera that I have that doesn't do 60 frames per second is the Sony, the Sony FDR AX53, which that one, it's kind of better for it to look a little more cinematic, right? The lower frame rate, since I don't do fast movement with that one. But then if I'm doing a hike with the GoPro, maybe we want to have that have a higher frame rate. Anyway, Trailer Traveling on YouTube asks, do you have a heartwarming story of how a viewer's comment or message had a significant impact in your lives of travels? I don't have a single story, but those are the stories that really nurture um, the soul. That really, if I ever doubted about doing this, if I ever have a bad day, stories about how I'm helping someone with their autistic child, or with an elderly person, spend their last days, terminal, watching my videos and bringing comfort to them and the family. And those are just two, and I've received several of those, and those really are the ones that I'm like, make you realize that you're making some kind of difference in people's lives, and that's what makes it all worth it. That's what makes it all worth it. Bruce Leslie Bogan, what are the things that I really like? What are the things that I really like about your travel? Is your song at the beginning, and then you're going down the road in your RV. I just love it. Well, I'm glad you like it. And that song, of course, I wrote it right after our first RV trip in the rental Cruise America to the West. And not our first RV trip, the second RV trip, but the first one that we actually went to the West. And we really realized, the potential, the incredible landscapes, that kindled my love for the American West. So, yeah. Have any plans on taking your mom out on a trip? Yes, we are. Yes, we are, Donald. Donald the young RVers here on Facebook. We might do a cruise. We might do a cruise soon. I'm waiting for one more follow-up appointment that she has next week, and after the Eclipse trip, we're gonna go on a cruise. Minitini 4, I think, is gonna be a little too uncomfortable for her. Minitini 3 was better in that sense, but yeah, definitely taking mom on a trip this year for sure. Rab on the road, a dog on a skateboard, the good old days, right? Yeah, the good old days, the beginnings of YouTube. Now YouTube has replaced TV for many people, present company included. So Big Jim Slater, aka Santa Claus, on YouTube. Hello, Traveling Robert. If you have time in Austin, I have never tried it. Check out Franklin Barbecue. As far as my experience goes, the best barbecue in the USA. Is that the one that has like the 4-hour line? If the line is not too big, I'll try it. I've heard great things about it too. Yeah. And the Texas barbecue, Texas barbecue brisket, the best I've ever had. Mark Sherrard, hello there, Robert and Lily. How's mom? An update on the Europe trip. Well, the Europe trip, the idea is to take mom and on a transatlantic cruise. I'm saying it here just for you guys. Don't tell anybody else. Just for our audience here. I haven't booked it yet. I don't know exactly which one I'm gonna take yet, but that's kind of the plan. And then somehow at some point halfway through the trip, mom is gonna have to fly back, and then Ilya and I are gonna take an RV around Spain. That's the plan, anyways. Plans can change. Bruce and Leslie Bogan on Facebook. What are you going to do wait for the eclipse? Lake Travis near Austin, Texas. And Lewis and Clark has to go. Good night, Lewis and Clark. And I'm sorry, I probably didn't get to your message on time here because I'm scrolling slowly on the chat here to get to most of your messages, especially the ones that have a specific question. Like John Waller on YouTube asks, "Come to Charleston, South Carolina, original Charlestonian, and I will give you the local tour." That would be great because I've done touristy Charleston, not once but twice, maybe 3 times. But I would definitely love to get a an insider's perspective. Such a beautiful city, Charleston. It's one of the most beautiful cities in the United States. Judge Nidens on Facebook. When you come to San Antonio, let me know. The New Braunfels area is a great German-inspired small city with great restaurants and sites. Floating the Comal River is a must. And yes, I was very briefly in New Braunfels. We have to come back. This was summer 2019, I believe, when we did Austin and we did San Antonio, and yeah. But if you okay, here we have James Holiday on Facebook. If you're ever in West Virginia, come by Lewisburg. I have hookups for campers. Stay for free. Oh, thank you, James. And West Virginia, I do want to go back to West Virginia. So much to see in West Virginia that I haven't seen yet. I basically did the New River Gorge and the Capitol, and not even went into the Capitol because it was under renovations. So anyway, Sean R. Davidson on Facebook. Your videos inspired me into buying an RV travel trailer last year. My next trip in April to Blackwater River State Park in Holt, Florida. Well, congratulations and enjoy that. And on YouTube, Eddie Negrete. Hello, good to see you on Facebook. Southern Cali is finally sunny but cold. How's Florida? Florida's warming up. It's being cool in the mornings, but and it's we've been having pretty good weather. Yeah, I heard California. You got that atmospheric river or whatever they call it. That seemed to be pretty bad. Uh, and Mark Clinard, it was great to see you at the RV show. Please reach out to me whenever you need help with Pelican. We'll do. Mike Clinard on Facebook. And the Rab on the Road, I'm fully behind using the highest resolution frame rate as much as possible. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I just newsflash, I just got a new camera, and it's back there. For those of you watching on video, it's right back there between the globe and my YouTube award. I'm testing it out. It's supposed to do a lot better in low light, and the sensor is 8K, so you can potentially zoom in a little bit without losing any quality, and it does 60 frames per second. So there will be a review here coming soon on my next camera. Linda Ferguson on Facebook says, "Hi Robert, have you decided on what areas you plan to visit the next time you're in the beautiful state of Michigan? I love all your videos and really enjoy getting to see all the places that I will never be able to see in person. Much love to you, Illy and Mom." Well, there are several places in Michigan that I definitely want to see. I want to see the Sleeping Bear sand dunes, of course. That's one of those. I want to go back to the UP with more time and better weather. My mom, one of her bucket list places is Mackinac Island, so we're gonna see if we can make it happen for her. She would have to probably fly to Detroit or something like that, and then we would go to Mackinac Island. So yeah. Mhm. Eddie Negrete, have you seen Netflix Griselda and how they represent Miami and Cuba? Yeah, I watched a couple of episodes. Um the acting, in my opinion, everybody says is the best role that Sofia Vergara has ever done, and to me, the acting is a little off. Like when she speaks in Spanish, the acting it's I don't know, it's not what you would expect. But I think yeah, it's accurate. It seems to be historically accurate. um, David, I'm trying to click. Oh, computers. Here we are. David Dapron Jr., are you coming to St. Louis again anytime soon? My son Benny is a huge fan. I don't know if I'm going to make an extended visit. I would love to go back to St. Louis, but we did a lot last year, the year before when we did the Lewis and Clark Trail. But I'll announce it. I mean, it's St. Louis is one of those crossroads towns that if you're driving to the west or coming back east, you have to drive through there. So Oh, I'm talking too much, and today I don't have a an adult beverage here for the podcast. Uh, Herb Prado, where will be a great place to take my wife for her first camp trip in Florida? Or you can do the Florida Keys, but it can get expensive. I mean, it depends what you want. If you want beach camping, there are several waterfront campgrounds that are great. Some of the state parks on the great, like the Grayton State Park, along the Panhandle, um, and I mean, it's kind of. Any trips in the near future to Key West? We're gonna try to make one quick trip to Key West before driving to the west in 2 weeks. So stay tuned for that one. Um, Andre Virgil, hi from Brazil. What's your favorite place to hike in Florida? I don't really hike in Florida. The chances to be swarmed by mosquitoes are very high, even in winter. And for hiking, I mean, yeah, there's a couple of good hiking trails in the Everglades, but the problem with Florida is that there's no topography. We don't have mountains, so you're usually hiking in the forest or something like that. Kissimmee Prairie has some cool hikes too, but it's not. I don't think it's the best state for hiking. I mean, if I'm wrong, please let me know. So, yeah. Mark Beckett, are you getting the Samsung S24? I was going to, but I have the S23, and I cannot justify for just a couple of gimmicky AI features. And which, by the way, is software. Most of the AI is probably coming to the S23 anyway. So no, I'm not gonna get it at this moment. Dan Valdez. Hello, Robert. Glad to see you. Enjoy your Alaska vids. And these three last few ones that were out of the ordinary for you. The farming and the airplane episodes were awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed those. They haven't had the mass, audience as some of the other videos, but that's okay. Sometimes I like to do, what I want to do, and there's gonna be a couple of odd episodes here and there. That's how we do it. I'm gonna start going down the chat here. We've been chatting for half an hour already. Time flies when you're having fun. So Santi Claus, Big James Late. Regarding the video resolution, have you seen some of the video of the stadium for the big game in Las Vegas? I've seen 4K and 8K, but the video of the stadium has a resolution that is so clear. Yeah, even if you don't have an 8K monitor, the higher the native resolution, the best is going to look, for sure. It's um, I mean, it's a great age for imaging, and I think what's coming over the next decade, it's gonna be amazing. Um, By the way, someone asked earlier if I was planning to go to Canada. I would love to go to Canada this year, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make that happen. We'll see. Uh, Big Jim Slade, hi, Traveling Rob. We used to love to ride e-bikes at Shark Valley in Everglades National Park. That's a great area, especially if you go in winter when it's kind of cold. You'll see so many alligators. That's incredible. From Ronald Bradley on Facebook, if you want to go to Mackinac Island, have your own flight to Traverse City. They have 3 or 4 spots from Florida to there, from like 50 to 100 nonstop. Well, that would be great. And I suppose, I mean, Mackinac Island does have an airport, right? I don't know if there are commercial flights from somewhere in Michigan. Otherwise, we could just drive to Mackinac City and take the ferry. Um, from Scenic Route Arts, Kimberly Liston on YouTube. Any tips for someone, me, starting their own YouTube channel for travels? Well, coming to a YouTube chat like we are here is certainly one. Get yourself known, and just do it. Consistency, at least weekly videos. best quality you can do. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect at the beginning. I mean, you guys should go back and watch some of my early stuff. It wasn't all that great. And the other one is good thumbnails and good titles. And an eye catching thumbnail and an intriguing title that will get people to click and will work well on search as well. I don't have the answer. I don't have the perfect answer. YouTube works in mysterious ways sometimes, but that's kind of the main thing. Hey, Frank Acosta. Hello, Robert. You're looking great. My best to you and Ileana. Same to you, brother. Same to you. And this traveler, let's see, because this traveler is a fellow videographer as well. The only issue is when you record video, you have to internally change the way it records. Otherwise, only your phone will play video. Really interesting. That's another good one from this traveler replying to Scenic Route Arts. Keep at it. Don't let the negative comments affect you. Let me tell you, negative comments, and sometimes they do get to me, but I try to ignore them. What can you do? One more comment here. I'm going to start wrapping it up. Constant McLinney or McKilney. Robert, I just found your videos and I'm addicted. Can't stop watching. Connie in the Northwoods of Wisconsin. And we have to go back to Wisconsin as well. So that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me on this somewhat impromptu live stream here for the podcast recording. And it's been great content. And we're going to do this once in a while, straight Q&A, whatever you guys want to know. And of course, you can also do that on my Friday live stream, which is similar but different. And this one, at least, we're recording, and it's gonna go on whatever podcast catcher you happen to use. So that's it for the podcast. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and as always, thank you so much for listening. And see you on the road, because we are living the RV dream and loving the RV lifestyle, because I'm free in my RV. Oh, hold on. I just clicked on the wrong thing. Bye, guys. Okay. I might edit that last bit out of the actual recording of the podcast that I'm doing here in another program. But anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow, 6 p.m. Eastern, for another live stream on the main YouTube channel. And that one will not be on Facebook or X, just on YouTube. Good night, everybody. Now I'm going to have my IPA.